do. All right. Which one was this? Hey, Alex. What you cooking? Hi, hi. I think, where is the... Oh, there it is. Number 9. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, gonna finish this up. Ooh, that sounds good, Alex. It was on different setting. Oh, it's on multiply, that's why. There we go. Hope everyone's doing alright. Do. Let's see. There we go. Where's... Okay, that did go away. Let's see. Do not need any of that. Took Friday off. It was a bit of... Well, that's good. You gotta have your U time. Hopefully you're able to relax. Don't think... Oh, wait. Yeah, I need that. Nail. There we go. Yeah, it likely is. And even if it isn't, I'm not gonna do something like that anyway. Yay! Well, between that and having artwork taken must mean something. Or like leaked and all that stuff. So it must be doing something right. Like, let's see, I've had rumors about me. Just small ones, like people thinking I pay others to draw my art. Of course, there's the artwork leaks. Artwork posted on YouTube without credit. And now this. So, must be doing something right. this. There we go. That's good. Glad you're feeling better. Either or. Not really taking timeline into account for this. Like a lot of the Lassicasts are like vaguely canon. Sometimes they're like Evil Marcy will never meet the God of Dragons, realistically. So some of it you gotta take with a grain of salt. Why am I getting phone calls? I guess technically you wouldn't be seeing that, so probably change that up. Yeah, she's just enjoying her run with her boyfriend. And he's just trying to survive. Should probably make his head smaller, it looks a little bit too exaggerated. I'll do that in a moment. Let's darken these lines a bit. Yeah, too much of that. There we go. Yeah, let's do that. Hello, Lola. Yeah, I will say Dingo is her is a keeper for her. So yeah, let's make this smaller. I'll have to fix the line art. So that here should do it. Skin change. Alright, what do you want? Do you want Nun Becky or do you want Hungover / Drunk Becky? Give you the Nun? Alright. Come on. There we go. Here's the Nun, and then we grab her book. There we go. But yeah, for Mars, Dingo's perfect. You can't lift too much. Yeah, let's shrink this arm a bit. You can't lift much. And she could easily break his pelvis in half, but she loves him. Or shatter his pelvis, actually. Should make it like he goes to the doctor at least during Valentine's. He's like, yeah, better get the doctor on speed dial for this. Smooth this out a bit. There we go. And just gotta fix up this. This is actually easy. That is not the color I wanted. is not the layer either. There we go. Jesus. Your cat is now inside your hoodie. That's cute. I was like, why the hell did I have this open? Like, oh yeah, for dialogue boxes. Anyway, back to Mars. Do Dingo afterwards. And I need Mars's tattoo color. I don't feel like going through all that to find it, so we're gonna do it this way. Do anything else on her other than her clothes? Alright. Clothing. Not you two. Do. Let's say they're wearing blue this time. Like a sky blue. Good afternoon. At least the bright side for Dingo being barely able to keep up with Mars is that at least he gets to look at her from behind. So there's a win there. He's like, the marathon is hard, but the booty is good. Yes, enjoy dinner. I know, cause like the best part is like even if Dingo does pass out from exhaustion, she'll likely turn around and go back for him and then carry him. So it's just a win-win at that point. So there's technically no downside to this, but he has to actually try. Yeah, And depending on how she carries him, just makes it worth it. Yeah, it's definitely the same guy. I know some of these are a little broken. Probably easier just to do it by hand. Yeah, right. She just carries him. Or it could be like Marissa from Street Fighter 6. That's just how she carries Dingo. Just big woman. Yeah, like at first, first he gets exhausted and he's like, just barely hanging in there. He collapses, gets tired. She turns around, picks him up, and at first she's just holding him, like carrying him, like next to her chest and all that. And he's like, just kind of chilling next to her breast. But then she notices the other runners, and it's and depending on whether she's behind or she's ahead of them, she's like, oh hell no. And so she just puts him over her shoulder and just books it. And he's just like, holy shit. And like literally the only characters that could beat her at that point would be more speedy type people, or cheaters who have super speed or manipulate time. But luckily this isn't a competitive run. Still doesn't mean she wants to be last or not first. Exactly. You wanna see me run that rockin' back? You wanna see me do it again? Alright. Dingo's turn. Dingo's just like, kill me. And yeah, it's like, what, the second time I've drawn Dingo? maybe third if there's like another occasion that I drew him in. I want to say it's only been twice though. Technically third. I'll be honest, I do not remember the third picture. I was like, fuck, would I even draw him in? Let me just see if I labeled it correctly. Probably not. I only got one on there. If I drew him a third time, I don't remember. Oh yeah, the auction. I forgot about that. It's funny, I was thinking about the first set of auctions earlier, but I wasn't thinking about that picture specifically. Let me fix that line art. That's on. There we go. You know what? Now that I think about it, what does he look like in that picture? Because that might change things. You. Unfortunately, I cannot show you all. Okay, pretty much the same. Maybe tail's a little smaller, or thicker than it should be. So, and it looks like a little shorter, but that could be just the angle that he's in. So let's just fix that a bit. I think I'll just make it a little bit longer. There we go. Let me tweak it. More songs. Doing it smaller. There we go. Whatever happened to that dingo guy you were seeing, Mars? He broke up. Oh, you mean he broke up with you? And cut to the shot, dingo. She's like, I know what I said. But yeah, he's a keeper. She ain't gonna drop him. And like when she tries to date, like if I do a comic of them trying to date, or when like she first meets him, I definitely want to show her like trying to dress up, so she gets like a tight dress, but you know, due to her physique, she ends up ripping it. No worries. I hope you have a good day at work. When was she in her choker phase? That only happened because she ate Skylar's food. She isn't normally fat, or wasn't fat originally. So she never technically had a chunker phase. She could though. I mean, I'll probably show her. I'd probably do like a side comic or something of her struggling to lose the weight she gained from eating his food. But other than that, she didn't have an actual chonker phase. But then, pretty much when she's back to normal, that's when she meets Dingo. Because she's just like working out, and then he sees her, and he's all like, "Oh, she's really pretty." And he tries to impress her by like trying to lift weights or whatever that are obviously too much for him. But she thinks it's cute, and so they go out. And she tries to make a good impression, but ends up ripping her dress. And it kind of embarrasses her, but he's completely fine. Yeah, I was thinking there'd be like a moment where she like bulks up. And at that point, Dingo just sees her as like a mountain to climb. He's just like, Jesus, she's huge. And she does technically eat a lot in order to keep her gains, so. Yeah. She's just really active. Should do a art set of her about to crush him with her strong thighs. But good thing this man is durable. And has amazing health insurance. Well, her family in general usually has a big Thanksgiving. At some point, I want to do a comic where Marcy meets Skylar's family. And we just have Skylar's dad going like, apple didn't fall far from the tree, as he points out that both his wife and Skylar's girlfriend are on the thick side. And Skylar's all like, yep, this is where I obviously got it from. What kind of system? Like, can you be a little bit more specific on that? Oh yeah, let's shrink this down a bit. I don't need all that space. Oh, I don't know the deeper details of all that. Probably. But this is kind of like an altered version of the world, so it's kind of hard to say if it's a one-to-one the same as the US. But it's more of a joke that he has amazing health insurance. Like, I don't know the intricate details of that, if there is any. But I'm sure there's probably like some kind of insurance where it's like, I see you're dating a dragon woman. You might need this. Or like that, there could be like insurance for like giant-sized characters because there are giants in their world. So that could be a thing. So like maybe his insurance just considers her a giant, so that way he can have some kind of coverage. Like, she's not a giant at all, but might as well be compared to him. Because I want to say, like, height-wise, he probably comes up to her. Like, I want to say... Let me get a better look at her. I would say he's about halfway up her thigh, looking at her normal stance pick. The snoo insurance plan, exactly. How do I want to do the background? It's like insurance in their world is just like, Jesus Christ, how do we cover any of this? It's like, I don't know, this one chick's trying to date a robot. See where the hell that goes. And they'll be like, how the fuck can you date a robot? I wonder if there's like some kind of specialist for that kind of shit. I say I wonder, as if I'm like, hey, you know, you're in control of this shit, you figure it out. Just ask my alternate self. If I could, I would. I'd be like, hey, how did we figure this out? Or, hey, how does this work? don't think I need this anymore. That should be fine. Is that how I want to do it? Nah. Let's just do it this way. Yeah, this is better. She'll be saying something like, "Hey, isn't this 10-mile run great?" or something like that. And he's just like, "Wheeze." He's like, "Please, get water." Or he's just like, 10 miles? Like, the fuck you mean 10 miles? Yeah, that's fine. To blur the shit out of these lines because they are all bloggy or pixelated. I still want them to be noticeable. I like this one. So yeah, she's just like, la 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 la, isn't this great? He's like, wheeze. He's like, please, come back. All that's really left is text and some effects. I've never played Half-Life, so I do not know what that sounds like, but I will probably later look it up. Oh, the flatline. Just be like dead. It's like he dies and then Captain America just shows up. It's like, so, you tried to date a dragon woman. Just pulls up a chair. There's so many things I need to do. Okay, so that's done. All that's left is some text. Grab this. Sometimes coming up with dialogue takes longer. It honestly gets well. I mean, this might be different for everybody, but it honestly gets easier once you like get in the headspace of how the characters should act. So then the flow of words is a lot easier because you gotta not think of it as yourself saying it. You gotta think of it as the actual character and how they live and stuff like that. And try not to have like too much of a bias of manipulating what they would say. just to sound like cool or edgy. Just like make it sound natural. Yeah, and this is like the most streams I've done in like a week. I can use this. Actually doing dialogue on this tree. Well, this isn't secret or anything, so this is just like whatever. You only see what I allow you to see. It's a little too hard to see. Incoming ads. Like another minute and a half, or minute 47 seconds. But almost done with this pick anyway. We'll move on to something else. And this is pretty much done. Just save this out. Did I have the other question picked out? It's kind of iffy on him. It was between this and one of the Discord ones. Maybe I'll hold off on that and wait. See if I think of something better. Anyway. Don't need you open anymore. Let's draw a Treestar. And grab reference over. Been wanting to draw her for some time now. Oh, that's not even the right chapter. If it were in the Aliens verse, Mars would definitely be carrying the smart gun, I think. I mean, there are aliens in her world as well. Not like aliens, but yeah. But yeah, would be interesting if she had a gun like that. Alright, so Treestar, you're gonna be interesting. Do that's wrong. Actually, which way do I want her facing? I think I want her facing this way. I'm gonna draw a Treestar. She's well overdue for some art. High school. Probably tweak her as we go. Hello, welcome. Yeah, trying to get stuff done. Some stuff I can't show on stream, which is why I'm picking random things like drawing characters and all that. And then the Aztecast, the second one, I haven't really decided on. Because I was debating on whether or not it was going to be answering if Kiwi's going to be looked at as a stuffed turkey, because I was going to treat it as after the Yorjadov thing, or Revka answering about if Skylar has a long lifespan. Because there was like a question to Marcy going like, oh, you know, you're married to a dragon, is going to be weird that you're not going to live long enough, or I think it was like to Skylar asking if it was going to be weird that he would outlast his loved ones or something like that. And in my mind, I'm like, it doesn't exactly work for him. He's not a pure dragon. He is a bestial. Because there are bestial dragons, and then there are regular dragons. Oh, I just realized I drew the lights on our eyes for whatever fucking reason. And Revka is the god of dragons, so he kinda looks down on the bestial versions. He's like, I didn't come up with your bullshit evolution. Let's just get her head mapped out. Not overly concerned about ears, honestly. Or at least not human ears. Could do that. But that's about the extent that I'm gonna go for it. Yeah, like they would technically be considered feral, or even like a Ferrokeen, but they're like on a different category. I'll say Ferrokeen fits them the most because it makes the most sense given how the world is. So, if I ever go into dragons, they will be classified as that. But potentially I might make like feral ones as well, so that way there's like a distinction. Yeah, exactly. And it's mostly because like feral animals do exist in their world, so it's not like regular animals aren't a thing. And I went through all that work for her ear to potentially be covered up. Whatever. We'll see what happens. Would not be the first time. Yeah, it is going to be that case. Yeah, yay. Yep, definitely isn't the first time I've done that. But that's how we learn. But basically, Revka made the dragons mostly close, like more of just like he's kind of just stroking his own ego, and so he basically makes his own species, which are dragons, because he basically gets exiled to an island, and debating on if the island is actually on Earth or if it's just like in a weird sub-dimension, but the sub-dimension can connect to others. And so he can't leave the island, but his own dragons can, because they're not bound to it. But for the most part, he just, you know, treats the island like just like its own tribe and village and stuff like that. And he just bullshits them the entire time. Like, he makes them worship him. Sometimes he'll wipe out the island and start over because he's bored, and then starts up like a whole different religion or tribal history and stuff like that. Sometimes he'll make some of the dragons be incapable of having offspring, and so they have to go to him in order to make that happen. And all he does is just do whatever he does to them, so he can have his entertainment. So, like, for example, let's just say a male can't impregnate a female. Revka will make it so that he impregnates her instead. Or it could be the other way around, and he just does it with the male just because he can. Or whatever other ways he manipulates the situation. And at some point, the dragons eventually, well, some of them leave the island, and that's how they make it into other dimensions and other, like, you know, environments and stuff like that. And that's how dragons become a thing, and then, you know, depending on time and whatever, you know, evolution happens, and thus you get bestials and stuff like that. Yeah, he's basically just an asshole god who got exiled for just, like, you know, thinking he could take over. And so the best he can do now is rule over oblivious people. But luckily some of them have left, so he didn't, like, completely keep dragons to himself. And that's why every once in a while he'll just wipe the civilization and start over, because it's like, now they're getting all preachy, or now they're getting all, you know, oh, what if there's more to life, blah 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 blah, and he's just like, I'm gonna start over, fuck this, and just board wipe them all. And then maybe every once in a while a Celestial will go and visit him just to see how exile is going for him, and he's all pissy about it. He's like, you try to take over Celestials one time and you get sent here. And they're like, it wasn't one time. So something like that. That's my initial thought, at least. Yeah, it's like, oh, they're eager for knowledge. Gotta put a stop to that. How do I want this? I swear, somebody at SEGA played Splatoon and was like, yes. I did not consider how her hair was going to work when she turns to the side, because I've never shown her from this angle. But that's okay. This is how we learn. And this is why turnarounds are important. An important lesson that I will not use. So here you go. Here's some advice because I will not be using it. It's like I'm a masochist when it comes to art, apparently. It's like, hey, this would be easier. Yeah, it would. Exactly. Do. Here's like the weird part because she technically has veins going downwards too. So it's like, how does this make sense? And it's like, don't worry about it. Did I? Hold on. I did show. But I don't think I showed her head from that angle. Hold on. This is like one of those things where it's like, what the fuck did I do in this comic? It's one of those situations. I think it was chapter 5. Let me look at that. Here it is. Nope, I did not show her from that angle. I did show her from the side, but I didn't show the back of her head. And her hair was in a weird angle. Huh. Neat. Granted, I drew that like, what, almost a decade ago at this point? Like 2 years from a decade? Yeah. Like, I already have their story planned out. It'll be cute. Like, Barry's worried about it not working out because, you know, he's a bear. And he's, like, a lot bigger than her. And she's worried it's not going to work out because she's a bit of a hippie. And she has hippie parents. Nobody can see the back of her head directly. Alright, so let me draw her initial body and we can put her clothes on once we figure out what the hell I'm doing. Andy's not a bear, he's a dog. Unless that was the joke, and then I'm like, bah, I'm dumb. Anyway. No, Andy is a dog. Barry is obviously a bear. Dude, she's called Treestar. The guy's a bear. I imagine her folks would be delighted. Well, her folks would be perfectly fine. Yeah, I figured that would be the joke. Yeah, her parents are perfectly fine. It's just she thinks that it's embarrassing. Because she doesn't like live in a home. She lives in like a trailer in the middle of in like some random campsite forest thing. And so she thinks it'll be awkward. And those some buff ass arms. Anyway, let's shrink these down a bit. So yeah, she just thinks that something's gonna happen and it's not gonna work out. And he's all worried about, you know, thinking he's gonna do something stupid. Or say something wrong. And like his, you know, football friends are all trying to tell him to, you know, act all jockish. And, you know, like telling him stuff like, oh, you know, all you gotta do is smack her on the ass. Oh no. Like they'll give him advice saying like, oh, you know, ask her to go get you a drink something or something, and when she gets up to go, to smack her on the ass. Yeah, exactly. Normal adult relationship bullshit. Just bad advice. And then Treestar will likely get bad advice from like Tiffany or whoever other characters are around. Like Tiffany will probably say something stupid like, what do you mean you have boy trouble? We can pick any of the football guys. Just go for it. You know, we all fuck them after they win a game, which Treestar never participates in. And like Barry doesn't do that either. So that's pretty much how they meet. It's like, okay, we're gonna go fuck the football players, and Treestar's like, yeah, I'm out. And like some of the guys are probably like, oh, but then like Barry doesn't participate either, and that's how they like actually start talking. Yes, exactly. And this is going to be one of those things where, you know, he does make a stupid decision and he thinks he ruined things. But she reassures him that, you know, nothing's ruined, but he shouldn't be taking advice from his friends like that. And then, like, she probably does something dumb too, and she'll be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have listened to mine either. And then, I don't know, maybe one of their parents does something silly. Like, Treestar will meet Barry's parents. And it's just a big old group of bears. How do I want her swimming? Me, you know it'd be really useful? Fucking reference. We should probably use that. Also me. I could probably keep going. Me once more. You say that, but we should probably go get reference. And then finally me, fine, I'll do it. But I won't like it. Nah, just wing it. I mean, that's been most of my work anyway. Throw caution into the wind. Alright, fuck it. This is what happens when you don't use construction lines. Like, you know, figuring out, oh, here's the torso. Goes. I should probably put this on another layer so I don't fuck this up. It's like, oh, here's the torso, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Here's this. Body goes here, it's in this angle because it's a box. Blah blah blah. Here's this goes this way, you gotta make sure it curves in a certain way. Blah blah blah, do this. It's not like I don't know this. I just choose not to because it feels weird. That's like literally my excuse for not doing this because it feels weird. Of all the things I could possibly tell you on why I don't do that, it's just, it feels weird. That's it. Yeah. Like, I think if Treestar actually sat down with Marcy and talked, they would get along pretty nicely. But unfortunately, Treestar is friends with Tiffany, so she's kind of reserved on her opinions. And she's already became friends with them, so she's kind of have a hard. She would have a hard time, you know, not trying to stay on their good side. Yeah, that's true. She could probably meet them later in the future because, you know, Skylar knows Barry, so the odds of them not at least coming across each other and having like a chat or something, it's pretty decent. I'll do this one, but not for that long. I think I might have her stance be a little bit more like this. Gotta turn this though. Might have to adjust it. Oh yeah, when they're older, you know, that's all shit that they probably grow out of. Especially Tiffany, due to reasons. But Treestar would definitely not be doing such nonsense in the future. So like after high school, goes to college, you know, gets whatever degree she gets in. She drops out. Unfortunately. In the future, though, I'll say she, like, you know, takes a test or whatever to get her GED. But she definitely doesn't get it immediately. Okay. I think I can move on to putting actual clothing on her. It's mostly just be the clothing that she wore to the party. That's her standard. Yeah. Like, if things were different, she would definitely, you know, graduate, go to college and all that. Well, again, I'm trying to think on a level where, like, I'm treating them as, like, if they existed. So, it's, like, I don't know, like, again, my thoughts on, like, working on a comic just makes me, like, question of, like, I wonder if this is how God feels, where he just makes like, a sim or whatever, and then just decides whether or not he manipulates certain events or not, and just lets shit happen. And then when he does make shit, or when he does decide, it's like, man, is it cruel that he's deciding who gets what? Just one of those things that just made me sit there and ponder. Going like, huh, I wonder if this is how God feels. Totally unrelated topic. I recently got Psychonauts. I haven't played any of the Psychonauts. I heard they're really good though. But yeah, it's one of those situations where it's like, damn. When characters have to go through this shit, what do you say? He secretly, not so secretly, really likes Tiffany. I like all of them. Which is why I sit there and go like, man, this is cruel. But it's like, I can't sugarcoat everything. Let's see. Digital dropping out that could allow all the Tiffany to know. Yeah, that's possible. Like, if I were to make a story of, like, what if Skylar didn't have any abilities, but was still into, like, you know, chunkier women. What if Marcy tried to put on weight normally? And what if Tiffany wasn't over trying to date Skylar? It would just be like this whole teen drama. That would have been like if I tried to make I had just like a ongoing teen drama or something. And let's make this a little bit more tighter on her. There we go. Eventually I'll have to make a cheerleader version for like the card game or something. Yep. Fate intervenes, which was me, who was into thick women, so Skylar gets fat powers. Yeah, it makes you wonder if, like, you know, stories and such you make just become like an alternate timeline or alternate universe. It's one of those mini head scratchers. Okay, let's put our skirt on. And like, I want to show, like, when I do go into Treestar's story, I want to show that originally her skirt was a lot longer before she met Tiffany. And like Tiffany got her to wear a shorter skirt. Not as short as Tiffany's, but definitely shorter than she originally had hers. And Treestar's all like, it's like, isn't this too much skin? And he's like, no, you're fine. And then they, like, you know, helped her with fashion. In the true timeline, Tiffany ain't got time for that shit. After a certain point. Like, maybe she'll be petty about it, but after a certain point, that's like the least of her worries. She's like, what? Skylar's dating some fat bitch? Yeah, cool. She's definitely not thinking about that. And I would say, like, only 2 people ever really learn about her situation. Maybe 3, if we count Treestar. I could see Tiffany wanting to tell Treestar some stuff, but you'll probably end up keeping it really vague. Just because Treestar isn't like her super closest friend compared to Taffy. But who knows? Maybe I'll change that. Maybe I'll be like, maybe I'll have what's going on with her skirt? Curiously, oh, it just has ripples in it. So like, it'll be like this. This part would be like over here or something. Did we all get ads when started talking about Treestar? Jesus. It was probably a setting that I probably hit. I'll have to go in and change that. Sorry about that. I'll do that once the stream is over. Yes, and it scared the bejesus out of me. It's like, now I'm gonna talk about Treestar's backstory. Suddenly, football. It's like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know what ads you guys got, but I'm just gonna assume it was something dumb. Oh, I haven't erased that part. It was just there because I drew her body earlier. So it probably has like some vagueness of a crotch, so like there. And then this would probably be more noticeable, but still vague. Something like that, I don't know. However, it'd probably be in like a different direction, given how she's facing. Chocolate chairs, music and Tinder. Huh. A chocolate and chair and music makes sense, but I don't know what the fuck Tinder's trying to tell you. It's like, is that what the people are into now? We play musical chairs and you win chocolate? Is that what the kids are into these days? Let's have this flow out a bit more. Oh yeah, we could probably change this song now, because it's gonna go on for like a fucking hour. Let's do Green Garden. And I could see Tiffany and them putting some influence on how she wears her shoes. So first, gotta decide what kind of shoes she's wearing. I could see her wearing like wooden shoes. And they'll be like, "Oh, where'd you get those shoes?" And she'll be like, my father made him." And then, I don't know, maybe Tiffany and them get her like those thick socks that hang down. Just to stylize those shoes. Like, alright, if you're gonna wear those fucking nightmares, then you gotta at least cover them with some socks. Oh, the super holiday, yeah. No smoking thing. Jesus. Do. So yeah, Tiffany wears wooden shoes. Or not Tiffany, Treestar. I was like, wait, why did what I say sound weird? Kids these days are alright, perhaps too alright. Do I want like some kind of weird design on them? Nah, just leave them. Yes, exactly. And that's why Tiffany is all but luckily because she's part of the cheerleaders team, she's like Tiffany's all like, all right, if you're gonna hang with us, we're gonna at least make it look nicer. And like, I don't know, maybe like in the showers or whatever, the girls see Treestar and you're like, damn, she's pretty hot. And they're like, all right, we gotta fix this so that way Treestar doesn't seem lame. And that's why Treestar gets a little embarrassed of her family over time, because she starts to see how everyone else views things, and so she thinks that it's embarrassing, especially once Barry starts being into her. At one point, I think I want to have Tiffany and them like try to visit her Treestar's place. Yeah, exactly. It's like she's kind of innocent, but kind of hot too. Or she's innocent, but she's pretty hot. And then like I'll probably have like Taffy say something like that, and then Tiffany looks at her and she's like, "What? She is." And then that's when Tiffany's like, "All right, let's fix this nightmare." I think if things happen normally, Tiffany would warm up to Treestar more over time. But due to certain events, Taffy pretty much ends up being the person she talks to more. Just because they've been friends longer. Oh yeah, Barry would likely be into all that. But Treestar would probably like be panicking, going like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Maybe like the easiest thing to break the ice with him is like, hey Barry, you want some s'mores? And in her mind she's like, what the fuck? And then he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, he likes that. Cool. And then like her parents or whatever would probably be like, all right, we're gonna hit the sag. You two don't stay up too long. As he winks or whatever, and she just dies of embarrassment. She's like, Dad. Or he'll say like, we're gonna hit the sag. Don't make too much noise if you two do the same. And she's just like, you did not just do that. Actually, she would not have a purse normally. She would have a fanny bag. But she has it to the side. Because that's what Tiffany and them wanted her to do. And they're like, don't wear it like that, wear it like this. We'll have to get you an actual purse later. You're always impressed. This is years of practice. Years of me bullshitting. Yeah, exactly. They both want to make good impressions to each other, so they go ask their friends on how to make it, you know, not weird and awkward. And they end up getting horrible advice. Like Tiffany and them tell Treestar like, oh, you know, you gotta look more alluring and stuff, so they like have her dress in more revealing clothing and, you know, doll her up and stuff. Get her like, I don't know, a push-up bra or something. And then Barry's friends are all like, oh, you know, just tell her to get you a drink or whatever and smack her on the ass, or you know, act like you don't care or some stupid shit. You know, the classics. Yeah. Honestly, I have no idea what the fuck she's doing. She's just kind of standing. So I'll probably just have her arms down. Actually, we'll do it this way. Change this up. But yeah, eventually they both kind of wise up and just, you know, talk to each other normally. And they hit it off. And probably fuck, you know, whatever happens. Yeah, it's like bear cubs, bear cubs. And like their families are super chill with each other, so it's not even like it wouldn't have worked out. They were just, you know, being young and dumb. If anything, the only thing awkward that would probably come up between her and Barry is that she doesn't shave. And that could be like something Tiffany and them try to tell her to do. But then she just doesn't do it. Like, she'll shave her legs, but that's as far as that goes. Or, well, arms and legs and all that. You know, the basic spots, but not the private. And so, like, once her and Barry actually do it, she's all like, shit. But then he doesn't think anything of it. He just thinks she's beautiful. Yeah, exactly. Like, even if I were to have her bring it up, he would just say, "I don't either," and she just kind of blinks at him because she's like, "Well, yeah, you're a bear." But naturally, he just wouldn't even think about it. Like, that's like the last thing on his he'll probably, like, a blip of thought might come up, but then that's it. Like, the rest is just like horny teen. This is my temporary headcanon that eventually Tiffany gets fat in every timeline. I love Fat Tiffany. I'm glad you enjoyed Fat Tiffany. I'm sure Gretchen enjoyed her as well. Let that sink in for a bit. I like the idea that Treestar gains a little to better fit with Bear. Yeah, she'll probably chub up a little bit over time. Took me a second to get the joke. That's dark and hilarious. Yeah. But yeah, I could totally see Treestar being a bit chubby in the future. Has some bear cubs, so she's like nice and chubby mama bear. It should be more like over here. And it just seems off. Thicker. Because she doesn't have like really big boobs. Yeah, it's kind of bound to have some traits rub off on her. Don't dangle Treestar's weight gain over me like a bear. I will do what I must. And hopefully in time I'll be able to get faster at making comics so we don't have to wait so long. And I'll definitely try harder to make them shorter. So that way we can get through more stories. But currently I am drawing what I feel is necessary to get the point across for certain stories. And we don't need our hand up that far. Alright, have a good night. Take care. Shorter and girthier. Yeah, it's just one of those things where I gotta like figure out how much of a story can I actually trim that's like not relevant. And I don't want to just like constantly going bam 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 bam, here's all this shit happening, because there's got to be some like breather time. But I could definitely try to shorten things if I can. But my main goal is to keep the main idea that I have, so I'll only remove things if it's absolutely unnecessary. Shrink this down a bit. There we go. So yeah, like I would say originally Treestar's old dress was like all the way down here to the tops of her legs. And she just wore it like that. And then Tiffany were like, no. I don't mind at all, little sketch teases here and there. About how chubby what they look wouldn't hurt. I don't know. Kind of just depends on where I go with it in the future. Okay, so we need to fix this because this looks weird. No, I guess not, because like she can just curve her hair upwards. So that I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, so should be good on her. Nothing crazy. Maybe just a little bit of lines here just to show that she has nails. Not too much though. I want to be a bit subtle. It's not really a needed detail. He says as he includes the detail anyway. It's a Treestar. And give her some space for her card. Alright, I should probably save. I have not saved that entire fucking time. Yeah, that would have sucked if this had crashed. Let's save this right now. Did I even give her a last name? I do not recall if I've given her a last name. Probably not. Raw dogging it the entire day. Exactly. Treestar. Yeah, I don't even think I gave her a name. Or a last name. That is not very safe. Trying to look in like archives just to see if I even hinted at a last name. Where's the page with Tiffany and her friend? There we go. Nope, she just has Treestar. Okay, what last name do I want to give her? Let me look on Patreon, because just to make sure I didn't give her a last name. Because that could be a thing that I've done. Because sometimes I'll write a character's last name in, like, a random place. And then be like, oh yeah, I'll use that for later, and then forget that I even did it. It's kind of like when I forget that I've named certain characters. And then I try to name them again, and then later on I realize that I already named them. And I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I don't think I named her. I don't even think I listed her on this. Why are these out of order? What would her native background be? Like Hispanic and all that? Like Hispanic, Caucasian, that kind of thing? Grass type. Okay, yeah, it doesn't even look like I gave her a last name at all. Alright, so I gotta first think of a last name. What would she have? I wonder if there's like a... hippie name generator. I wonder if that's a thing. Treestar Groot. No, not doing that. But yeah, if I'm going like an ethnicity thing, then I don't know. I always pictured her as African American. How about Treestar Riverstone? And that just sounds like a fucking park now that I said it out loud. And Moonstone just sounds too generic. Or too cliche. God damn, all these names sound like fucking park ranges. Good lord. Or maybe I should just go for like a standard name. God, I do not know what to name this woman. And it's kind of important that I name her. Let's see. Fantasy names, heist names, herb spice names. Sure, let's click this. See what I get. Gefalscho? Don't know what the hell that is. Cindermint? What about French words? Well, she's not French, so that would make sense. Fungugreek? Or Fenugreek? Dillseed? God, I do not know what to fucking name her. Which is weird, because I haven't really had this issue with everyone else. Like, sometimes it takes me a moment to find something that fits, but this is like... Natural disaster. What about nature names? Do we have any of that? God, this is taking me a lot longer than I expected. Tree names. Bitter Beach? What the fuck? Tree Claw? No. Sequoia? It doesn't sound bad, but it still sounds like like to me it sounds like an immediate like go-to word for some reason. Fuck it, how about Acorn Scrub? Let's give her like a weird last name so that way it's just further ammo for Tiffany and everyone to make fun of her. But luckily that doesn't happen because she ends up getting in with them. Yeah, fuck it. Treecorn Scrub or Acorn Scrub. That is her last name. It's like, what's your name? Treestar? And he's like, what the fuck? Why are you named after why are you called that? And then it's like, okay, what's your last name? And she says Acorn Scrub. And they just start laughing. This is how we get here. This is how this happens. Fuck it. Okay, that's her name. Treestar Acorn Scrub. This is how this happens. This is my life. Seems kind of thick on this side. I guess it's fine. Could be just the positioning that I had. Because I guess technically some of this would be higher up. I'll just leave it. Treestar Adebayo. Jelani. Jelani sounds like a word that I've heard often enough too. Or a name that I've heard often enough. Would say God help her, but he named her. You know what, this is fine. This is fine. I'm just gonna keep the name. This is fine. See, sometimes things just don't happen unless it happens in a particular way, and this is one of those times. Alright, anyway. I need her skin tone, and I know I have a list of that we can choose from. Come on. Load up for me. If I decide to change her name, then I will, but right now I'm gonna keep Acorn Scrub. Because, like, inherently the name isn't bad, like, it's not supposed to be insulting her. Where did I put those skin tones? There they are. I'd say she's likely this one. We'll see how it looks on her. It's like if that's your actual last name, like, you know, don't think it's a bad thing. I'm just joking around. Trust me, I had jokes with my last name, so not exactly exempt from it. I need to clean up her line art more now that I'm zooming in more. Yeah, this is fine. But let me clean up her line art a bit. See, this is the downside to drawing from afar, because then details like this are more problematic. I'll have to find a good balance on how far to be away from the line art. Because this will annoy me if I don't fix it. Hey Thunder Kid, welcome. How do people joke about the name? Yeah, it was mostly the reference to the Matrix, and that was like before I even saw the movie. So like, everyone kept making that reference, and I had no idea what the fuck they were talking about. Granted, I was like, I don't know, when the hell did that movie even come out? It came out in '99, really? Yeah, it did. Weird. So I was like 11. So yeah, people making those references. And then I don't even think I saw the movie till I was like 12 or 13. Cause I saw it, I think I saw it on video, if I remember correctly. Because I didn't see it in theaters, I know that. So sometime after whenever the video came out was when I watched it. It was before I ended up moving. So I had to be like 12 or 13 when I saw it. Or hold on. So it came out in '99, but what month? Because that'll matter. Came out in March. So I was 10. Because I hadn't turned 11 yet. So I might have saw it that year. So I was probably 11 or 10 when I saw that. If I had to take an educated guess. But yeah, and then even afterwards, every time my name comes up, it's like Mr. Anderson. I'm like, God damn it. And I know one person made a comment like, yeah, like he hasn't heard that like 80 times before. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah. Alright, so I think we're good on the rest of this, and somehow you were not colored. Yeah, I'm gonna have to really rethink how I draw these. this does not become a problem. It's mostly just the distance thing, because it's like I don't want to, because like when if I zoom in too much, then I end up drawing the character too small. But if I draw too big, then I miss little details like this. I think it's just going to be one of those things I have to just work through. It's like, yeah, it happens. I was like, oh yeah, and they're like, no. There we go. That's better. Sure, why not? It's officially cold as fuck here, so I'm got a hoodie. When I'm done, I'm going to get me some eggnog. Because that sounds good right now. But yeah, I could totally see, like, after some time of Treestar hanging out with, you know, the cheerleaders and all that, that's when guys start, you know, looking at her more. Because she ends up being, like, one of those top tier girls that you want to get with, type of thing. And at first she like doesn't mind the attention, but at the same time she doesn't want to give the wrong impression. Like there could be guys who are into her, but think that they're out of her league because of her association with the other girls. And maybe that could be one of the reasons why Barry had a hard time thinking that he was gonna mess up or something like that, because he thought that she had like higher standards or something. I have not yet decided on that, because I've had like multiple thoughts of either of them initiating the conversation when they're kind of just waiting for their friends to finish up in the locker rooms. So honestly, it could be either or. Because like I could see Barry like clamming up because she's sitting right next to him. And then I think Treestar is the one that's most likely to start talking to him. To not only to make things less awkward, but to like to just break the ice and, you know, have someone to talk to while they wait. And then I don't know, maybe like Barry's voice cracks briefly when he starts talking to her because he wasn't expecting to talk to her, and he closes his mouth for a moment, thinking that like, holy shit, his movements all look stupid, and she just like chuckles and finds it cute or something, or just tells him not to worry. She thought it was funny. and it like breaks the ice, and they just start talking more. And then I don't know, maybe Taffy sees them together, and she's just like, "Oh hey." She's like, "Oh, so you like Barry, huh?" And that's probably why Taffy brings that up at Skylar's party, where she's like, "Hey, look, Barry's over there." So Taffy pretty much notices first that they could be a thing. Should I put stripes on her socks? Like just like the typical stripes, and they don't need to be like a pattern or anything. Nah, they're fine. Just leave them alone. Alright. Drum roll what her hair color is, because this should be fucking easy. If your answer was green, you are correct. She has green hair. Clearly she is a magical girl. It's like if your daughter has green hair, hangs out with a bunch of other multicolored hair friends, and has suddenly a stuffed animal, she's probably a magical girl. Treestar Moon. And no, it is not dyed. It is her natural hair color. Very rarely do the characters dye their hair. They're like, what the hell is hair dye? This is true. She does change her hair color, and she's like the only character I have who's done that many times. Everyone else has been using their natural hair color. There's probably been some characters who have dyed their hair, but Marcy's like the most notable one. Marcy has had both the most hair changes and outfit changes throughout all of my characters. I would say Skylar is probably second, and Tiffany is probably third. And I'm like talking canonical, not like outfits that I've changed throughout the years because I like redesigned the character or something. I mean like straight up wears different stuff. No, I think Blake might be third because she has shown up more in the comics too. And Tiffany would probably be fourth. I'm not entirely sure when it comes to Blake and Tiffany's. I'll probably have to like look it up. And they're either tied or one that's higher than the other. But yeah, definitely Marcy has had the most outfit changes. Exactly. Stacy shows up in 2 different timelines, still wears the same shit. Stacy shows up in Astacast and even commissions or what? Well, in the commissions she was basically naked, so I don't even know if that I don't even think that counts. But yeah, it shows up a few times, wears the same shit. Treestar wears the same shit. The Treestar's only appeared like what, 2 times, 3 times if we count the multiple timelines. Where is the thing that I am looking for? There it is. Pants on rating and pants off when you admire the art. Yeah. Sure, but we'll watch this one or listen to this one. All right. Tighten up on this. I was thinking for the next limited art set would be Stacy. I almost did Treestar at one point, but I just didn't get around to doing it. Alright, let's save. Do eye color. The hell. Most of the time I always pictured her with like red eyes. But I don't know if I want to go with that. Like yellow also works. Or like a goldish yellow. Don't want to do green. Because I like to break it up a bit. Let's see. This should work. Yeah, that's good. No. Yes. And I can also see like once Barry's friends tell him to smack Treestar on the ass, um, Treestar like talks to like Tiffany and them about that, and they just give her like multiple answers because they don't exactly know what the fuck that was about. And so like on one side she could be told like, oh no, he thinks he owns you or some shit like that, and then on the other end he's like, oh, maybe he's being frisky, or maybe he wants a, and she just doesn't know what to think on the scenario. Like it's just completely confusing. But then on the guy's side, it's just like, yeah, he smacked her on the butt. That's like the extent of their thought. Just like real life. Men are really easy. We are very direct. They'll be like, oh no, I didn't want to make you feel like this was blah 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 blah. And men are just like, dude, I was just thinking about pizza. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Men would be like, what? You thought there was a problem? I had debated if the bear girl that Skylar buys the stuffed animal from um, is a relative of Barry's. I hadn't quite settled on if that's the case. But that was a thought that came to mind. Actually, my color those a different. Oh, a different color from him. Or from her. No, the skirt should top it off. Hey, hello. Yeah, I'm doing good. Trying to survive. Back with snacks. Woo! I'll be done in about... Well, I'll be stopping in about 15 minutes. Yeah, this is fine. Trying to give her like a more earthy look. I have to decide what kind of headband she's gonna have. Probably the same color as this, actually. That'd work. It's like gasp, a human. We haven't seen those in many a year. Or in my case, Haven. And it's funny because Treestar is an exchange student. Because she originally attended a Haven school. And then her and a dog character who does show up in Greenfield gets they trade places. So that'll be fun. I think this is okay. Maybe it could be a bit darker. That's a bit better. But yeah. Treestar is just gonna be an interesting character once I do more with her. Same thing for Stacy. Oh god, the amount of characters I have that I want to use for things. They probably get her matching socks that go with her top. Especially since she's going to be wearing wooden shoes. No, if she's wearing wooden shoes, and that would probably match too much with the top, so skirt makes more sense. Either the skirt or this part of the top. So, let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's fine. The hell? Why are you not coloring? I must have selected something by accident. That was weird. Yes, she wears wooden shoes. Treestar is a hippie. And then, I don't know what kind of bag she'd have. Probably just be like some basic color. Wouldn't be all fancy. Maybe like some yellowish color. Like a yellowish mustard color. Oh, I'm like, what am I doing? Love how this song is just Bow Chicka Bow Wow. It's like once you know that, you just can't get it out of your head. Don't know if I will like that. Maybe like more orangey. Maybe darker than that. That's better. Trying to make her look like different colors of leaves. I do want to do a picture of Treestar laying on top of Barry's belly, and he's just like a big soft pillow. Because I think that would be cute. Big old teddy bear. Yeah, kind of like that. And she can just like fall asleep because he's so comfortable. And then we'll get texture just to make it look like wood. Where is... There it is. I don't need to get complicated with it. Let's match her though. Might desaturate it. Kinda like this, but let's lighten it up. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and this is her without makeup. If she had makeup, she'd probably have like greenish eyeshadow and some lipstick. Or maybe yellow. Or red, because that would break up the colors on her face. So yeah, she'd probably wear like red eyeshadow and lipstick with some red nails. So yeah, this is her initially. We zoomed in too far. Anyway. So I'll get around to doing the shading and stuff like that, and then probably give her like a naturey background. And then there'll be like future pictures of her where she's wearing the cheerleader outfit that Tiffany wears. Or whatever risque situation I decide to put her in. But yeah, I think I'll call it for now. But yeah, thank you everybody for coming. I will stream again tonight at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And I will see you guys then, alright? You guys have a good afternoon or night or whatever your time zone is. You guys have a good day, okay? Bye-bye.